So you like sleeping and you like listening to music or books or anything, uh, get a pair of sleep buds. This is Radium Classic Audio, and this is the first in a series of Temu audio that I'm doing. These products I've gotten from Temu because I'm just like that. I just buy stuff, right? Some of them actually turn out to be pretty good, some of them don't. So I'm taking a lot of that risk, not because you don't have to, as a lot of people like to say. I think it's good for you to experiment on your own. But when I do find something that I think is worthwhile, I will mention it so that now you can actually go look for it if it is something that you think you would use. In this case, it's a pair of sleep buds. And if you've ever tried to sleep and listen to an audiobook or some chill tunes or whatever you like to listen to, you would know that there's a big challenge when it comes to finding something that works really well. Now, I have on my previous channel highlighted a couple items, a couple units, earbuds, whatever you want to call them, that did work pretty good, and I did endorse them. Then you have a couple selections like these that are just plain ridiculous when you look at the price and especially what you're using them for. These I have shown you before. These are a couple of the ones that I did a review for in some previous videos on my other channel, and they still live up. They still hold up really well. Everything I said about them they stand, they still work, and I still use them. But it wasn't until I got my hands on these. These are the SK19 earbuds. Let's take a little look at as to why I like these so much and why I highly recommend them for sleep buds. Okay, so first things first, they're tiny, they're cute. You open the case, it's a clear case on top, which is brilliant, right? You can always tell if one's missing. And the case itself is actually pretty cool because this has fallen many times, and I mean many times, and it still holds up. The glass isn't cracked, or the plastic isn't cracked, isn't scratched up very much. It's still perfect, right? It charges via USB-C, which is excellent, and there's a pretty sizable battery inside the case itself. Now you can look at my own and see that I have put L and an R on it. That's just to identify obviously left and right, because they are identical, so that you can't put one in and then it doesn't fit and you know, okay, that's supposed to be in the left side and it's supposed to be right side. They will go in either way. That's actually a good thing. Why? Because in the middle of the night, you can put it into your ear, put one into your ear, for example. And here's one thing. I don't like putting in stereo systems into my ears because I like to have some sort of spatial awareness. You know, someone's trying to get into my room or my wife is calling for me or whatever. I don't want to not have any source of that's why I don't like to wear earplugs. Having one in my ear is just fine. I can hear my audiobook and I can go to sleep. And if it runs out of battery, I can just take the other one and put it in my ear, or the same ear, and it'll fit the same way. And that is probably the best reason for having something that's symmetrical in that sense, right? It'll charge in either port, it doesn't matter which one you put in, and because they're shaped the same, it'll feel the same in either ear, regardless of which side you put it in. I just labeled it left and right if I want to have some sort of stereo experience, so I'll know where my left channel is and where my right channel is. Further to the case, there's a little window that you can see when you open it up at the top. It's a little digital counter. Now, nothing comes up when you open the case. However, as soon as you take the buds out, they begin to pair, just like a regular TWS system. And as soon as it connects, which takes about a couple seconds to whatever device you have it paired to, it's ready to go, it's done, it's connected. So I'm going into bed, I open it up, take it out, put it in my ear, close it. I have it paired to my Amazon Kindle, so that's my night sleeping device. So I put my phone to charge, everything, and it's already paired, and I just start setting up my ebook, and then I go to sleep, and that's that, right? You don't have to do any secondary set of pairing. When you put both of them in the first time, it does pair as left and right, and you will get a stereo experience if that's what you're going for. I haven't had any trouble with respect to it for failing in terms of the pairing mode. You don't expect any fancy Bluetooth codecs here or any high-end lossless type of codecs going on here. It's probably just SBC, AAC, something to that effect. I never checked it, but I expect that's what it is. There is a microphone. I'll be honest, I've never tested it because I'm not using it for anything that's going to be requiring a microphone. But I have actually read some people's reviews saying that it, it does work. Well, okay. But what about the sound? I mean, I know this is an audiophile channel, and sound is always going to be a big part of anything that I present. While we are not getting this for music, okay? While we are not getting this for the sake of listening to music, it's obviously capable of playing music. And it actually does so pretty good. It's serviceable enough that if you want to hear a song or two before you go to bed, that's fine. It'll work well and you won't feel like, oh my gosh, these are the worst things I've ever heard. I have more expensive ones that sound worse. There's one aspect of it that I actually am blown away by. It's sub-bass response. It's when you listen to a book, let's say a sci-fi book or something in let's say Audible or whatever. I listen to a lot of Star Wars books. Those that have music and sound effects really benefit from this bass response that it has. The vocals are clear, the highs are clear enough, mids are clear enough, but the bass has this nice kind of almost rich sub-bass response that makes you actually sometimes feel that kind of sensory aspect of the sub-bass, feel the effects. I don't know. It's not the most spectacular sound at all. For what you expect from it, you get a lot in return. That's what I'm trying to say. And the question is, will it last me because they're so small through the night? And the answer is yes. I've been impressed with these batteries. In fact, there have been a few nights more recently than not, so I can really testify to this now, that I had had it in my ear, listening to a book and just kind of dozing, like gazing off. And after I looked, it was about 4 a.m. and I had these things in since 11, and they were now giving me the low battery warning. I mean, and I'm listening to it, let's say, 75% volume. So I can't complain because this thing costs $7. Yeah. It's durable. It sounds good. It blasts the battery in the case and the battery in the earbuds. They look nice and they are super tiny. They fit right inside of your ears. Now take a look at this. Take a look at this. This is the earbud, and this is the tip that it comes with. It only comes with one pair of tips, that the ones that are on it. These don't actually feel like cheap silicone. This is what really gets me. It doesn't feel like cheap silicone. I've had earbuds, let's say KZ IEMs that I've bought for $5, $10, $15, $20 that come with some ear tips that are like disintegrating after a while or tear when you try to pull them off. These are surprisingly durable. In fact, to get it off to do like regular cleaning and whatnot, it actually sometimes is a little challenging, and that's great because you don't want that slipping off in your ears while you fall asleep, or while you roll around in bed, I should say. And when you get up in the morning, there is the odd chance that it's fallen out of your ear. It's always on my bed. I don't know what your sleeping situation is going to be like, but it's always been on my bed. So I just get up, raise my sheets a bit and see it. Oh, there it is. Plug it in, and as soon as you put it back in, this happens, and you see how much charge is left in the case. So this tells you how, or rather when, to charge your case. So you don't have to charge it. I would honestly go about almost a week without charging the case. So I would just get up in the morning, put them back in, put it away for the day, and come in the night, put it on, rinse and repeat. And after about a week, I'm at about 19% left, 15% left, and I just run a charge in the case, and it takes a couple hours for the most, and then that's it. You know, you're done, and it's ready to go again. So all in all, the SK19 is so far my favorite because it sits so deeply into your canal and it's so comfortable. Yes, it's a touch interface, and by holding on the buttons, you can turn on and turn off the individual, when I say buttons, I mean the actual surface of it. You can turn on and turn off the individual buds, but you can also raise the volume, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but I think so you can raise the volume, you can do different things with it. However, these go so deep and nice and nested in there that there's no problem when you roll onto your side, and that's been one of my biggest challenges, finding one day where it doesn't make me feel like, oh gosh, I have to take it out to this ear and put it in here. Sometimes I do, just because I might be awake and I'm like, I might as well just do it, but I don't have to, and that's the point. So this comes as a full recommendation from me. It's not perfect, but where it hits the mark, the areas that it hits the mark are the areas of concern when it comes to these things, and it really, really provides a solid experience there. Connectivity is perfectly fine. Even sometimes when you get up, let's say to go to the kitchen to get something to drink or something in the middle of the night, you would hardly ever lose connectivity unless you go for a long period of time. I think this is a really, really big sleeper. There is a little bit of a fear, though, I have to say, that it might get stuck in your ear because of how neatly it nestles itself inside. And let me put them on for you just so you can get a quick look at how it is when it's actually in your ear. So I'm going to nestle it right inside here and just push it right in. And it's already connected. So, and here we go. So, I mean, what else do you want for $7, right? This is the SK19 Sleep Earbuds, highly recommended by me. And if you have tried another one that is comparable in some way or form or fashion, yeah, please leave it in the comments. Let us know about it and tell me what you think about these, if you have them or if you plan to get them. And if you do get them, come back and say something. But until then, look, this is an Audiophile channel at heart. Plan to make a lot more videos about Temu audio, but in audio in general. Have a nice one coming up really soon. Thanks for watching. This one was just a little impromptu, but I enjoyed making it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Give me your thoughts in the comments, and remember to keep vinyl alive. I know that's not what this says, but that's what I mean. Save the vinyl. Keep vinyl alive. Yeah. Keep analog alive. Yeah. Let's work with that. Anyway, I'm Tristan. This is Radium Classic Audio, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.